Hi guys, so in this video I'm just going to have a look at ultra dynamic sky and basically the reflection of the stars. So um, you might have noticed if you're like working on cinematics that you don't get any reflections of the stars in any of your reflective materials. The reason for this is basically it's an optimization thing. Because to see the stars like good in reflections, your reflection capture resolution has to be quite high. Otherwise, they do look a little bit blurry. So I think the developers actually added something into the material function to the stars to actually bypass reflections. But I'm going to show you how you can unbypass it. So let's have a look at it. So what we're going to do, if we go down to the content browser and just click on Ultra Dynamic Sky and then search for stars, and then if you look at this one, the material function, just double click on that, and over here you've got this section here, remove in reflection. So basically what this is doing is the first part of the material graph is sort of generating the stars, and then when it comes to here, it's basically going through this reflection capture pass switch, and then into this switch parameter. The switch parameter is just basically saying, if it's using the space layer, then enable the stars, but if it's not, then it goes through this reflection capture pass switch, and basically it disables the reflection. So what we can do is we can bypass these three nodes and add our own functionality to it so that we can get those stars back. So what I'm going to do is, if I select that one, hit Control C to copy it, paste it up here, and we're going to do the same for this one. Paste that up there. We're going to multiply that 0.01 value. So sorry, to get the multiply, you just hit M and then left mouse click, and then we're going to add a scalar parameter. So hit S and left mouse click, and then we're going to give that a name, star reflection, and then wire that into there, and then M left mouse click again, and we're going to multiply this by this, and basically this is what we're going to use for the reflections. So with this reflection capture pass switch, basically whatever goes into the reflection pin is what shows up in the reflections, and whatever goes into this pin is basically what the general output for the material will be when it's not a reflection. So if we wire that one into reflection, and then we're going to take just the normal output and put that into default, and then we're going to wire the output from that directly into where it says false. And now if we save that and just minimize this window a sec. Oh no, don't minimize the window, keep it open. I just need to move it out of the way just slightly. Now if you take a look at the mirror ball and we click on star reflections and we just crank that up, you should start to see now we've got the stars showing up in the reflections on that mirror ball. But like I said, they look pretty crappy at the moment. So over here again on the outliner with ultra dynamic sky selected, if you scroll down you can find your captured scene skylight, and you can just turn up the resolution, and then you might not be able to see it, but if I move a bit closer, they're quite small, they're like really fine, so but they are there on the reflection now. Bearing in mind, if you crank up that value, it will have a performance hit, so you have to factor in whether or not you want to do that. But if you're doing like offline rendering for like movie renders, then that might, it might not be an issue for you. But we can take this one step further actually, because it's all very well having control over that in that material, but let's say we're using UDS in another level and we might want the stars to be less bright in that level, and we don't want to have to keep going into the material function and changing it each time. So what we can do, if we open up this window again, what we want to do is basically replace this scalar parameter value with a collection parameter value, and then set it up so we've got access to that in our details panel in the editor. So to do that, UDS has actually got a collection parameter asset that we can add that scalar parameter to, that collection parameter value to. So to get to that, you come to our content drawer, and if we just search for clouds, and you just scroll down, and somewhere here, this one, UDS volumetric clouds MPC, just double click on that. Excuse me. And at the top here where it says scalar parameters, we're just gonna click on the little plus symbol to add a new entry. If you scroll down to it, it's here. You can expand that there, and we're just gonna call it star reflection, and we can leave its default value as 0, that's fine, and then just click save. Minimize that window. Next you want to go into the blueprint and edit the blueprint. So to do that, just right click on where it says ultra dynamic sky and browse to asset, and then just double click on the blueprint asset. So we'll start off in the event graph. So where it says event tick, with this sequencer node, we're just going to add an additional pin off of that, and then drag off of that, and then right click, and then we're going to search for set scalar parameter value, and then where it says collection on the drop down menu, we're going to look for UDS volumetric clouds MPC, and then under parameter name we'll click on that, and then we're going to look for somewhere it should have our stars reflection. Maybe I need to move the window slightly. There it is, just select that. And then under parameter, on parameter value, just right click on that and then select promote to variable. Now on the right hand side we can configure that variable how we want it. So we're going to give it a name, star reflection or reflections, and then we're going to tick instance editable, that means it's going to show up in our details panel, and we're going to tick expose to cinematics, and that basically means that if you're using the sequencer, then you'll be able to add keyframes to control that parameter in the sequencer. Just hit compile quickly. Also, sorry, the other thing, we're just gonna add a category for it, and I'm just going to call that my mods, just so that, you know, if you do any other modifications to Ultra Dynamic Sky, you can put all your mods in the same place, so then they'll all be listed next to each other. So just click that. And the other thing we want to do, because we've done this in the event graph, that's only going to work on at runtime. So we also want to be able to do that in the editor. So we need to put that in the construction script as well. So I'm just going to copy that. So highlight it and Control C. If you don't have that construction script tab, if you come over here on the left hand side under functions, you see construction script there. You just double click on that, it should open this up. And then we can just over here, if we do Control V, paste that in, and then we can wire that up there. Now hit compile, hopefully everything is okay, and hit save. Now if we minimize that, over here, back over here, with Ultra Dynamic Sky selected, if we search for my mods, you can see now that it's come up. And I've forgotten something. So before we do that, currently that scalar parameter is not actually being used for anything in the materials. So this is something I forgot to do. So if we come back and we go to our stars tab, our star material function, again we just want to replace that for that collection parameter that we created. So just right click and search for collection parameter, and we want to tell it which one. So it's the UDS volumetric clouds MPC, and then we're going to find that parameter name, star reflections, and then we're just going to connect that to that pin, and we can delete that one now. And then if we click save, what should have happened is the stars will disappear because the default value is 0. Yeah. And now if we crank up that, you can see now we've got control of the stars and the reflections for UDS. And yeah, that's it basically. A nice little mod that might help, you know, improve your cinematics or the look of your game if you really want to go that way. So hopefully you found this useful. If you did, hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel, because I'll be dishing out a few more videos like this. I've got loads of ideas of stuff that I want to share with you guys. So thanks for watching. My name's John from Orogenic, and it's easy when you know how.